and just
Yeah,
push
no worries.
Yeah, no, good, brother.
Yeah. So, brother, um, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, I suppose, to start off with. I guess it'd be, I missed if I didn't say that. But yeah, it's good that, we made it to another one, I suppose.
Yeah, 100%. It's always good, but that part.
2025, brother. 2025, geez.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, we're spending it here in Bali, so, we're just going out with some friends over down at, Legian, going to one of the pubs, putting on a bit of a spread down there and all that sort of stuff. And
Oh,
then
nice.
around about 2 o'clock, and then we'll head down to the beach, mate. Look that sunset.
Well, that's what we plan on doing too, going to the beach, mate. So
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah.
we haven't been for a while, so
Mm.
we got down there early this morning, had a bit of a swim, and yeah, it was nice.
Oh, did you? Oh, wow. Did you go for a run or not? No.
No run today. We had the toughest session yesterday, mate. It was it's our rest day today, but we had a tough session yesterday. So yeah,
Oh, right, mate.
no run today. So
Oh, so you did that down the coast, though, of course.
well, we were in Pittsworth. We only come down yesterday afternoon, so
Oh, okay, mate. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I would
about
imagine
3 hour drive.
Pittsburgh's a pretty hilly sort of place, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not overly flat, no.
No, I can call it because I've only ever driven through there to get out to Gundawindi or something like that. Yeah, so um,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So rest day today. Of course, it's a rest day today. Boxing Day test tomorrow, so I'll be watching the TV. Oh, where you go? No, you must have lost one. Listen, we're hoping that all our family and friends, especially all the JB and CJ Tech End community, having a lovely morning. I think it is still for us here in Bali. It's still 8 o'clock. So if you're in the East Coast, say it's 10 o'clock, so breakfast would be over by now. I imagine. We're just getting up, maybe just to have something to do. But yeah, I guess the rest of the day will be filled with some, fun and laughter. I guess. Hopefully, you're spending all Christmas with family and friends. Unfortunately, we're not, although we've got each other. Uh, back into uh, family and friends back in Australia at some time today, I guess. So, not sure whether anyone's on at the moment. I'll just keep an eye on who's here and who's not. Um, JB was just on a minute ago and lost connection. He's at the Gold Coast. Um, Apparently had a big run yesterday when he's back at Pittsfield. How do you say that? Pittsfield or something like that. I think it's a place in Toowoomba, suburb of Toowoomba. They were down there. Yeah, I think they had a bit of a run yesterday, so it's the rest of the day for them. Um, Look, for those of you who aren't travelling that well, maybe not spend Christmas with anyone. You did today. It's going to be a bit like us. I've got Michelle's got me. Find a friend, pick up the stuff on the phone, and then here he is.
Sorry, brother. Had a phone call and
Hello?
got knocked out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right. Yeah, that happens. That happens,
Yeah. Can
mate.
you see
Yeah.
me?
No, not yet.
Here we go. There you go.
There you go. I'm just saying that, hope everyone's enjoying themselves, I suppose, especially those in our community, I guess. We might get some people shortly, who knows. You know what it's like trying to get them on a Wednesday night, get the guests on, get some
Yeah,
time. I can't
yeah,
imagine there'll be a landslide of people jumping in today. So let's just keep our fingers crossed. But I'm just saying that those people who I've got Michelle today, so and you've got your family down there on the Gold Coast, I guess. Some people haven't got the luxury of having people with them, just to take care of themselves. Always easy to make a phone call. Sometimes it's not. Just to connect with people, family in particular. So just look
yeah,
after themselves and those people. Depending
yeah,
upon
definitely.
themselves.
Definitely, brother. Well said. Well said. We're only talking about this yesterday, and some, for some people it's a sad time of year. Like for others it's a really happy time. But you got to think of what people have been through in the past, I guess. And
Yeah,
as you say, brother, it's just about reaching out to people that you might know that struggle during this time, or you might think that they do, but just reach out, say Merry Christmas, and how you doing. So that's what it's
yeah.
about, isn't it?
Well, absolutely, and you know, let them know you're still around. You're still about that type of thing. So, yeah, and those people who are celebrating during Christmas with family and friends, think of those who aren't, and give them a call. Tell them how you feel. Merry Christmas, that type of thing as well. So reach out ourselves, instead of expecting them to give us a call. I suppose that may never happen, really. So we'll be on the phone all day today. I think just talking to them about that. It's good.
Yeah, it is a really busy time, And
Yeah.
yeah, that's what happened before when we were talking on here, and someone rang and knocked us out of the off the Zoom. So there you go.
All right. Well, there you
Things
go.
happen.
Yeah. Well, that's it. I mean, just pick up the phone. I think that's the main thing. Even if you know who it is, and they're ringing you for a reason, I suppose. So just make some time just to say hello. That's all. That's all. That's all. It's an easy thing to do, isn't it? To say hello to someone.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. Now, no one else is going to join us, brother. I don't think so.
I don't think so, brother. Yeah, I think it just might
But
be
that's
just
all
me and
right.
you.
That's all right.
Like,
Yeah,
you know,
mate, and maybe I don't know. We put up the Zoom link and that sort of stuff. Maybe it wasn't as clear as what it could have been. I suppose. I mean, I don't know.
could be.
Maybe
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. But
yeah.
that's all right. That's all right. We'll put this up later. You know, we'll wait a little bit longer. But like all we wanted to do, brother, was get together, say Merry Christmas, and talk a little bit about the year that's gone,
Yeah,
2025 or nearly gone. And it has been a pretty tough one, eh? It's been up and down year. I mean, there's been a lot of highs, there's been a lot of lows, and people are starting to talk about that now. So
yeah,
it's been a good one.
yeah. Usually that time of year where you got to do a little bit of reflection, haven't you? Especially if you're hearing from someone, Christmas Day or Boxing Day or Year or whatever. It's all about just hearing their story, I suppose, and see how they've been going throughout the year, I guess. And definitely want to share some of that kind of the year that was, I suppose. You know what I mean? It's been a pretty tough one, I suppose. We've had a tremendous year this year. It's just been, living over here. I guess we've been here for about 8 months. We've been away from Australia for about 8 months. So and in that time we've been all over the place. It's yeah, it's been exciting. It's been a really good journey, kind of adventure, I suppose, but it's also been very hard, in terms of going through. But yeah, wouldn't have not been involved in that, mate. I just want to see her get through what she has to get through, I guess. she was there for me when I had was diagnosed with prostate cancer. So you know,
Yeah. And you're right, brother. I mean, it has been a tough year for you guys, and good on you for doing what you could to try and help Michelle, and everyone's sending their love and healing to not just Michelle but you as well, because you've done a lot in the background there. So it's it really is about that true partnership. You know what I mean? It really is, like in the relationship. Yes, you're her husband, but like it goes much deeper than that, and that's that whole partnership thing that comes out, and you're there when you both need each other. You know what I mean? So,
yeah,
and that's the
absolutely.
beautiful thing about it, brother. So,
Yeah, that's right, mate. We're very close. I guess I've got two sons and three granddaughters at the moment, so it's kind of like we're not going to be you know we're going to be there to support each other no matter what. So that's what it's all about, I suppose.
yeah,
You know,
and it's like it's been a little bit like 2025. You have your ups and your downs. It's not all roses and or beers and skittles or whatever they say, brother. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
you have your ups, you have your downs, and you work through it. But it's about having those. Being able to communicate, and that's what makes a good relationship, I think. So,
yeah, absolutely, mate. Yeah, communicate. I think you got to be there through the good times, but also through the tough times. And helping out each other. I think it's important
yeah,
that that's that support. Really need to be able to be there for people. You know what I mean? It's
yeah, definitely.
no matter whether you're here, he or she's your partner or family, um, just got to tough it out. Sometimes it's it
Yeah.
gets a bit
Yeah.
yeah, it did get a bit hard, mate. I've got to say, but it was harder for her.
Yeah, I think for both of us. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, look, no doubt. I mean, Michelle's been through a lot, with operations and the pain and the recovery and all that sort of stuff. But I think that plays puts a big, well, not a strain, but like on your mental health and her mental health, and that's why being able to stick together and fight through it. It's just an amazing thing to be able to do. So, it's not something that's small, brother. It's something that needs to be celebrated, because a lot of people can't do that. So I think
yeah,
it's
no,
um I think it's wonderful.
yeah, no, it's good, mate. Yeah, that's right. If you can, that's what you need to do. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just can't, and for whatever reason, it's kind of out of your control, and you'd be there if you could. But I could go. It's important that you can definitely go on that journey. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but it has been a good year. Oh, up and down year, I suppose. I can't remember what that happened. I guess when we were back in Oz, I think we were just getting ready to get ourselves on a plane. I think we left around about April.
Yeah. Pretty exciting stuff, though, brother. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
you,
yeah,
it brings with you, that change, the new chapters, and all that sort of stuff. So,
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
think it's fantastic if you can do it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So,
Mate, I'll tell you what's been invaluable is jumping on here every week. Once a week at least. If we can, when we can, when we're not busy, and staying connected. You know what I mean? Because I've found that although this is a good thing, I found that being away from Australia has been really good for us because it just helped us with our mental health. I guess we're not hearing a lot of stuff that goes on when you're actually living in Australia. You know what I mean? It's kind of like
yeah,
in Spain, we've never heard much about what's going on. And same here in Bali. We just our little circle of friends here are basically Balinese people. We don't get to talk about the news. I keep an eye on the footy. That's about it.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
I think I watched the footy grand final in Spain, Madrid. So
yeah.
we were
Okay.
there. Yeah, yeah. So it's kind of like and it wasn't really a live telecast. It was actually some geezer um, on YouTube who was doing a commentary on it.
Oh, okay, okay,
We
there you
weren't
go.
actually watching the game. We were saying, "Oh, now this is happening, this is happening," and
Yeah,
the
yeah,
same with the AFL. It was all
yeah,
AFL.
yeah,
Um, so we listened to it on the. It used to be. I reckon it was like the old days when you couldn't get. We never had a TV, so we listened to it on the radio. So like that. Yeah, yeah, it's kind of like that. So you had to
yeah. Okay.
use your imagination a little bit in terms of what's going on. But yeah,
Yeah,
so
no,
so we kind of we're not in that little I don't know that little world, I guess, that world in Australia where we're hearing everything. The saddest part of turning 23, 25, I suppose, is what happened in Sydney last couple of weeks. And
yeah.
yeah,
We had a bit of a yarn about that in our last check-in, and
yeah,
like we were pretty shocked and pretty I don't know. I suppose just like it was that moment of disbelief, if you like. So it was tough, watching all those different videos and all that stuff. And I think I mentioned it last time. Like even the Americans were saying how different it was, because when they have their shootings, which they have them at regular intervals, but they never get to see any of those videos. So I think with all the videos that were going around with the Bondi stuff, it just, like it just made it so real and so much more disbelieving, I suppose, than, you just can't fathom it, if you like. So,
no, mate, yeah. And listen, mate, we just spare a thought for all those people who are affected. I guess their Christmas is not going to never be the same as it was last year, I guess. So, it is in a blink of an eye, isn't it? 1 minute where and all of a sudden they get up and the news is all about this, and you're thinking, oh,
I do have to use Pop Clark, Uncle Albie's line. You don't know what's around the next corner until you get there, mate. So,
that's, yeah, yeah,
um, it's pretty true words. You know what I mean? As
oh,
you say, in the blink of an eye, it can change. Everything can change. And you think about, those 15 people that, um, you know, died in the Bondi shootings, and you think about them, but then you think about everyone that they've left behind, and everyone else probably, yes, there was 15 people, taken, but there's so many more that were there that are going to be traumatized for so long.
oh,
And it's just a sad situation. So, I mean, I don't
yeah,
know what the answer is, brother, but you know,
yeah,
it's and look, yeah, we need to pay our respects to those 15 people, but
mm,
there's also some, like we want to be celebrating what our mobs and people are doing as well. So
oh,
we
absolutely, yeah,
we want to remember those, and we want to honor those people, and we don't know what the solution is, brother. So
yeah,
if we can keep doing what we're able to do, and try and get through everything that's thrown at us.
yeah,
And as you said before, there's been a lot thrown at us, and there's been a lot of ups as well. So we try and take that, and as we said last time we were on, brother, it's going to be 6 years in March that we've been doing this. So
yeah.
we've
So
seen a lot of different things, eh?
seen a lot going on, mate. That's right. I mean, and yeah, and I think that it would have been great if nothing happened, but for in terms of what we do, especially when we started in COVID, I suppose we weren't talking about a whole lot of stuff except
Yeah.
surviving and getting back to basics and all that kind of thing. And then obviously that restrictions and COVID ended. I guess it hasn't really ended, but it's kind of back to some kind.
Yeah,
But once that happened, I guess there's all these other things that happened. Hey, Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
definitely. And like brother, I mean, just listening to people talk about how good the JB and CJ check-in has been for them, and how it's brought people together, and it's brought people from the other side of the world, together with Aussies here, and in Wales and in Canada and in New Zealand. So it's brought a lot
yeah.
of people together. So I think you know well done to everyone that's played a part in JB and CJ, and I can't wait for it to go another 6 years, brother. So
It's right. Yes, mate. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, it is. It's and it's not just us doing this. It's people that jump on board, and it's
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
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 yeah. And I'm thinking about. I was thinking earlier, just before we started that little part around JP and CJ, is that those 15 people, everyone's connected to at least 100 people. So that's a lot of people when you think about it. And then you've got the people that were there on the day. Hundreds of people down there on the day, and they connected to hundreds of people. Well, and it's kind of quite a large portion, a lot of people, that have been affected, and those of course, like us who watched it on TV, watch
yeah,
it on the
yeah, yeah,
social,
definitely.
we get affected by that. So, man, yeah, it does. It's got a huge impact. Just what that one day, that 120 crazy whatever minutes it was. But anyway, it's and but you got to, we tend to forget about, yeah, it's like um, it's like Ben Hunt, right, for the Broncos, brother. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
all I can remember about Ben Hunt was dropping that ball in the grand final, back a couple of years ago, a few years ago, and yet he's done a lot of great things since.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
and no one's talking about that. All you can remember is the bad stuff.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I think you're spot on, brother. I mean, I think and we talk a lot about this in our workshops, and like if we were to say, tell us one thing that you're deadly at or good at. Um, People struggle to do that. People struggle to talk about themselves, struggle to celebrate what they're good at. But if we were to say, tell us 10 things that you do badly, or things like that, we can name them. We can name 20 things.
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
about trying to turn that narrative around, and
no,
and bringing it back to that positive stuff. And I think that's what is been behind the whole JB and CJ check-in has been that positivity, that hope, during COVID, and we might have, we probably did it to help ourselves as well at the start, but then to
yeah,
see how many people actually benefited from it, and like we got a big following in Melbourne, which was the most lockdown city in the world, during COVID. So,
yeah,
and talking to people from there and how much they enjoyed listening to, just two fellas talking about life, and then all these other interesting people that have been on and come on and shared little bits about their life, brother. I think it's just an amazing thing. So
yeah. It is amazing. Yeah, it is really good. I think that's and there's a celebration, like you say, of the small things we do, the little things we think we do. The little things we think are little, but are great things. How good's that? Really, it's really how
yeah,
good. You know,
yeah,
people who like maybe were on the kick their addiction. You know what I mean? And that was huge. That was huge. And then then there are others who kind of done things with their families and friends, that type of stuff. So it's important to celebrate those things. But
yeah. It, and
hey,
look, I
sorry, hold
think
on.
it's.
One Zoom here. Oh,
Oh, hello, MJ. How are you?
can you see
Merry Christmas.
it?
Are you looking good?
Yeah, she said you're looking good, darling. You probably couldn't hear her because I had
No,
the.
I couldn't actually hear her properly. Yeah. So,
Yeah, no, and she couldn't hear you, brother. But
oh, okay.
yeah, she's just over there. We just getting ourselves organized. It's just getting up. But yeah, that's what it is. It's about doing celebrating those things, I think, and a lot of that's happened over this year, 2020, 24. So a lot
Yeah.
of years, so we'll be around again next year, I'd say, and certainly be here for those who need us to be
Yeah.
there for
Definitely.
you know what I mean?
Definitely.
That
Yeah.
type of thing. Yeah. So big plans for next year, mate.
Oh, we got a massive year, brother. To be honest, it's already looking so full the first 3 or 4 months that don't get me wrong, I'm happy for to be working in community and all that sort of stuff. But I guess it's just as we try and tell everyone, we have to sort of look after ourselves as well, and like just pay a bit of attention to ourselves and make sure that we're looking after our own health as well. So
Yeah,
we're excited for the next year. We got some really exciting news. We're picking up our new caravan in February, which will have all Mibamba signage all over it, and we're we're really looking forward to that. So we've been sponsored by Destinations Unknown down in Melbourne. That's their name, and we're just really excited. We'll be able to take this caravan into community to be able to work in there, and it's going to save dollars as well, because we won't have to pay for accommodation. We won't have to do those sort of things, and we'll be able to. We're just really looking forward to it, brother. To be honest,
yeah,
so
yeah. And I think people will be waiting in anticipation to see that van, the caravan, turn up in their town. So it's a good thing about it. Everyone recognises you. Otherwise,
yeah.
normally,
Oh, look. I mean, even with the cruiser that's wrapped in Mibben bar, and it's got the kangaroos on the side and all that, but it's just a real talking point, and people are able to then come up and have a yarn to us about what we do, and we're able to explain like about us working in our communities, and yeah, it's just a beautiful way of connecting people. I mean, I
yeah,
think we've only ever had one little bit of racism towards us, but I'm glad I didn't hear the lad that was abusing us, but Lisa heard it, and it wasn't nice, and but I didn't hear it, so I'm glad I didn't hear it. So
yeah. You're gonna get that,
yeah,
mate. You're gonna get that. You gotta understand that you're gonna get some kickback, I guess. So, but yeah, get on with what you're doing, brother, and know what you're doing. Thing is, they don't
yeah.
know what you're doing. They don't know what you're doing. They don't know.
Nah, no, 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 they don't, bro. They don't. And look, as I said, we're real excited, and we've got um, you know, some big stuff coming up, and we're also, as we've talked about before, going to do something to honour Pop Clark with Move for Mibbenbar, which is going to be a 3,000 k bike ride.
Oh,
Um, Yeah, so we're going to be realistic about this. So we're going to make it an event, and we're going to try and do it in September, 2027, brother. So
oh, okay.
uh,
That's a build up. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well, it gives us a bit of time to train for it as well. Like we're
Mm,
doing running, but not a lot of bike riding. So I'm going to have to get on the bike, brother, and have that sore mum.
yeah, no, mate. Yeah. Saddle rash.
Yeah, yeah, 100%, 100%. But yeah, look, I'm really looking forward to it, because it's something that I talked about with Pop Clark before he passed, and
Yeah,
he
yeah,
wanted to do that, and he wanted to do that one from Darwin to Adelaide, which
mm,
is just an amazing feat. But he also, if we need to remember that he also rode across the Nullarbor, from Perth to Warrnambool. So he's sort of done it all. So that's
yeah,
what I want to do, is honour him, and I
yeah,
know we'll have a great team, and we'll be able to have a big build up to it, brother. So yeah,
Yeah,
so
good, mate. Good. Yeah,
there's a lot of stuff happening, and then we'll have our Mibbenbar gathering again in May. So
yeah. Yep.
we're looking forward to that again, and people can get on board with that. Come and share a little bit and be in a space that is about celebrating and talking positive things. I mean, we can also talk about concerns and issues and solutions. So it's not all just wiping it over and talking about
Yeah,
the,
that's
the
right.
good stuff. Yeah, it's about talking about concerns and issues and how we might deal with them with available resources, brother. So
Well, that's right. Yeah, yeah, that's right. And people know, there's once you get people in the room, there's from all over the place and various backgrounds. People often can chip in and say, "Oh, I know where you can get some support for that."
yeah, definitely.
That
Yeah,
sounds like this organisation projects or this grant is all about and that kind of stuff. So it's important. People, we don't know it all. Everyone knows a little bit. That little bit that sometimes makes
yeah, definitely, brother. But
quite.
together, and we stick fat together. It goes a long way to building that hope, building that the positive future as well, brother. So
Yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
yeah. But
That's
anyway, I mean, we just wanted to get on. We just wanted to say Merry Christmas to everyone. We're hoping to have
absolutely.
a couple of people join us. Maybe we didn't set it up properly or whatever, but it doesn't
Yeah,
matter. We
yeah,
still got to have a little bit of a yarn, brother.
yeah.
It's all about, as we said, saying Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Look after your mob. Look after yourself. These sort of things, brother. These little messages don't change, do they?
No, they don't, mate. No, that's right. And like I said, it's no matter what time of the year. This time of the year is that I guess it's a kind of a national, it's a world kind of part of the year, I guess. But any time of the year, just to let people know, reach out, say hello, catch up, all that kind of thing. I love nothing better than to catch up with people I haven't seen for a long time, so it's always good. Mate, I'll be, we'll be back in Australia in March, so we're going to be down at Elba for about a month. So we're going to be down that way. We're going to make our way back up to Brizzy, then
Yeah,
fly
yeah.
to Brisbane, fly back to Cairns, and then from Cairns, probably catching up again with family. We'll be heading back over here because we've got to be in Spain in June, end of June.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so for her surgery, but we plan on doing a little bit of prep somewhere else in the world, I guess. So got all said we're going to be there in Spain at the end of June, so let's go and do that. Yeah, so we've got another big year ahead of us as well. Yeah, it's a bit like that, I suppose, and and I guess that one thing I could probably say is that we're doing this because we need to do it.
Yeah.
It's actually a need. We're going down to Hobart to look after Marty. His family's going to be leaving to go to England for a month. So we thought we'd go and take care of Arnie a bit with that, catch up with a few people. But things happen, I suppose, and it's not like, and we talked about this as well, JP. We're not lucky, you know what I mean? It's work towards this. Things really do get it, fall into place once you start thinking and talking about that stuff. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, kind of manifest that, I would imagine. Some of it, but a lot of it's a lot of hard work, you know, a lot of hard work. So, but there's in saying what we've been doing, it's kind of pretty heavy on the logistics, making sure we've got, flights reasonably priced, I suppose, but then it's about a whole range of things, accommodation, it's about
Yeah.
a whole lot of stuff, visas, you've got to have visas. So there's a bit of work involved in getting to places when you know that that's the place where we can get the help,
Yeah.
yeah, but well, we try and mix in a little bit of exploring, I guess, and being a tourist, I guess, and checking out. So
Yeah, of course.
I've got to say, we've got different tastes when we do that type of stuff. We kind of look at going to places that aren't frequented, that aren't tourist spots. Um, get out of town a bit into the villages, and talk to people, that kind of stuff. Find out how they. But yeah. So it's a lot different than. It's not as what do you call it, glamorous as everyone thinks it is.
No, definitely not, brother. Definitely not. So, yeah. So, yeah, we just want to send all our love to everyone. And, as we said before, it's about also, you know, sending, sending some healing and, to people that are going through different stuff at the moment, whether it be sorry business or, mental health issues or social emotional well-being issues. I mean, it doesn't matter, just sending everyone, that needs it, that love and that healing to be able to move forward and, participate in that next chapter of their lives, brother. And, let's make 2026 a big one for everyone, so.
Definitely. All right, brother. You
All right.
once again, Merry Christmas to you, Lisa, LB, and family. So
Merry Christmas to you guys.
enjoy time with Belle.
Yeah.
Goldie, yeah, thank you very much for that, brother. It's we'll have something to eat before we start making a lot of catching up with people back home. So,
Yeah.
It should be good. Yeah. And well, knowing that we'll be back there in March for a whole month, probably a month and a half. That'll be good too. We'll connect when we get back there, so that'll make it exciting.
Beautiful, brother. Beautiful.
Yeah.
No worries. Well, love to you all.
Merry Christmas, brother. Happy
And
New
we'll
Year.
talk next week sometime, eh?
We'll talk next week before we will close off the year with the end of year
Yeah.
call. We'll see how we go. I don't know whether we'll be able to get people on this again.
We might just do ours, brother, back on. Yeah, just a live back on. Yeah, so just to say good.
We could probably get people on if they want to come on.
Yeah.
5 minutes.
There's always that opportunity. Yes.
Yeah, we can do that. We can invite them on.
Yeah.
Go whatever.
Because I think even with Restream we can get 10 people on, brother. So.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it that way. I'll now save this and I'll send it to you and you can post it up.
All right, no worries, brother. I might be able to play it for a little bit too if there's any little ums and ahs that we need to get out. So anyway.
All right, brother.
Have fun, brother.
Big hugs, bud.
Yeah, love you too,
mate. Love you heaps. Talk soon.
You, brother.
Okay, see ya. Bye. Merry Christmas.